going on with baby Becca because I read some report about her being missing. Like her mom filed like a missing person case or whatever. Whatever. She went to the cops about her child disappearing. And then baby Becca was just like, oh no, I'm found, mom. And I've been hearing several stories. One story was that she was working on some pot farm and she didn't have a lot of reception, which is believable. And then another one was that she signed up for this show and just up and left and didn't tell anyone. And I'm like, what kind of relationship do you have with your mom? Because my mom could call me, and if I don't call her right away, she's going to the cops. Like, I could never disappear from this family, even if I wanted to. So it's just really awkward that she was comfortable to pick up and leave and not inform anyone of where she was going. Because for her mother to have to go through the whole missing person filing and all of that, that's a process. Like, the police wait a while before they actually do it because they want to make sure the person has actually disappeared. So, girl, what is going on? You know what? She gives me runaway bride tease. She not ready, Arie. Moving on from missing baby Becca, this episode, guys... I don't know what this man is doing. I don't know. Like, he made so many moves today where I'm just like, I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. And you know what? I don't think Reality Steve knows either because he was a bit off on a few things. And I was just like, what is going on? Do you maybe think that he is being this unpredictable because of so many spoilers? I don't know what's going on, but let's talk about it. So what's going on with Seinne's hair? Because in her opening confessional, it's like kind of curly, then kind of wavy. It's just not right. You know what I mean? It's like the Luther Vandross curl. It just can't quite curl, and it's just like can't quite stay straight. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe she has run out of her special products during the taping of the show because every black woman knows that when you travel, you can't bring all your products. We go through a lot of products, right? So you can't bring everything. So I think she brought like her samples, and wherever she's at, she can't really get to her stuff because the hair has been changing. But it's okay, girl. We got you. But you got to learn from Rachel. When you come on the show, you're representing all of us. It is what it is. So we're not getting a rose ceremony this week, but that doesn't mean anything because Arie is still extremely unpredictable, so none of us knows what he's going to do. Then we cut to Jacqueline, who has said the smartest thing that I have ever seen in my time of watching this show. She said concerning her connection with Arie, she doesn't know if she's falling in love or if she's falling in love with love. And I think that's such a smart and wise thing to say. And that just threw her up in like, you know, my respect level for this show, you know, in the Bachelorette market for me at this point, because I thought that was so wise. Because a lot of people were coming for Peter on his season when he was just like, I need to take a bit more time in this. And as you'll notice throughout the episode, that Jacqueline is saying the same exact thing. But I checked Twitter. She didn't get the same dragon as Peter. I wonder why. Seriously, let's be realistic here. How can she fall in love in such a short period of time? You know what I mean? It's the infatuation of everything that's going on. And I'm glad that she's questioning it. You know what I mean? Because that is the smartest thing to do. And that is the most logical way to approach it. But I'm going to tell you who and what she's fallen in love with. She's fallen in love with the 3 meals that they are giving these girls a day and the snack bar that they can nibble off of whenever they want. She's fallen in love with that wine because Jacqueline, like our girl that got booted off Jenna, loves a nice little drink. She's fallen in love with the housing. When a woman don't pay rent, we are at our damn best. She's fallen in love with the travel. They're taking her all across the globe on their dime. She ain't paying nothing. She's falling in love with the hair and makeup. She's falling in love with the whole production. She needs to be married or infatuated with production because they are the one who have been courting her this entire season. Mary, the producer, Mary Mark, is he playing for our team? Let me tell you something. The Bachelor ate my steez. I watch this show and I review it and I have a good laugh with you guys, but I would never sign up for something like that because it's just not who I am. However, if I could get on a season where I don't gotta do nothing, I don't gotta kiss the Bachelor, the only time I see this fool is when we're at rose ceremony and somehow I make it through because I'm the producer's favorite, because you know I would be messy. I would cut it up on that show, right? That's the only way that I would do it. To get those meals, I'm telling you, crafty ain't no joke. And it's ABC, so I know they got a nice budget. So I know those girls are eating well. And then you're traveling all around. They're just paying for you. And they're also paying you. Like all the girls get like some kind of stipend so they can survive or whatever on their own throughout the day. You know what I mean? So if they want to buy something or whatever, they get a little stipend, a little survival stipend. Not a lot, but it's something. It's not a Bloomingdale's check, but it's a Walmart check. That's something. Child, I'll be on that show stuffing my face, wearing them Rachel Zoe dresses that they get from them little one-on-one dates and living my best black life until they cut me at the end because they realize that me and the Bachelor don't have no chemistry unless it's Peter. Unless it's Peter, girl. I'll be all over that warm vanilla sugar. Don't play with me. Speaking of warm vanilla sugar, let's talk about this pumpkin spice of an Arie, okay? Arie actually looked really cute this episode. I think they maybe changed his hair and makeup team because, guys, to me, he looked very healthy. Like his cheeks were full, like he had an even skin tone. His eyes were a bit brighter. Arie has ice blue eyes, so when he wears a blue shirt, it just magnifies his eye. You know, just the things about him that you got to work with, you know what I mean? So when you don't have... Sorry, I hate to compare, but that's like the only thing that I can really compare to. When you don't have a Peter, you know, you have an Arie, you got to play up some things. So they played up his eyes, and I thought that was really, really smart. And his hair looked a little different. I think it got a little darker. But they were doing some things. They were working with him, and I think he looked a lot better this episode. This is the finest he's ever looked. And for Arie, that's saying a lot. No shade. It's just, they don't know what to do with you, boo. Wait, is Arie back in this broke down car that he took Jacqueline on the date with that didn't work? Is he taking Becca K in that same car? Because it looked like it. This show was so ghetto. That's probably why we like it. We like ghetto things. Let's be real. So this date with Becca K, I think because maybe we're getting into later in the season, I think they were holding a lot of the budget for later in the season because I'm starting to really like these dates. Like this date with Becca K was just so beautiful and gorgeous. Like he's taking her around Tuscany? Is that where you know? I said Tuscany, and when I said Tuscany, I felt my eyebrows go in, and I immediately thought of Lauren and how shady she was when Arie told them they were going to Tuscany. Ladies, we're going to Tuscany. Lauren. Like she was so pissed to be going to Tuscany. Anyway, Arie is taking Becca K around Tuscany, and it just looks so beautiful, so like old country. It was just gorgeous. And then they stopped by to get some bread, right? And I was looking at the bread. I was like, oh, that bread looks so delicious. Until Grandpa started touching each and every bread. I was like, oh, no, sir. Just let me know which one you want. Now, I get it. You don't got to be sanitary like Whole Foods. All I'm saying is, Granddad did not have to touch every freaking loaf of bread. Damn. You know another thing that I noticed on this date? Arie walks like a soccer mom. You know what I mean? Like, he just has this thing where he has a very hippie walk, but he doesn't have hips. So it's weird because he like leads with his hips. And I'm like, you were giving me mom tease. Becca K is my front runner, right? She has been my front runner since day one. However, on this date, I feel like she's really trying, but it's just not enough. Arie seems like he's somewhere else. And to be quite honest with you, he seemed like he was somewhere else this entire episode. He just was not his normal boring self. He just seemed very occupied with something. Like something was going on in Arie's head this episode, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if the producers told him something. I don't know if he wanted to do something different and the producer said no. I don't know what it is, but he just seemed off. He really, really did. And their date was so dry. Like, I did not see a spark between the two of them, and this is the first time I didn't see it. Like, I saw like some kind of spark. I feel like he has like a little bit of spark with certain girls. I think with baby Becca, he has a huge spark, and that huge spark is his penis. You're welcome, Arie. Okay. Because I read that People magazine interview with your ex, and she was very generous. Yeah, he just seemed very preoccupied, and their date just seemed so dry and dull and boring. And not as boring as his date with Lauren. Not the one on this episode, but the previous date that they had. And it just didn't work for me. And I don't know what has happened, but I think it's all on Arie. He just did not seem normal this episode. And then Arie and Becca K have like a 3-minute long makeout session in like different parts of Tuscany. They were like kissing on the grass at one point. Then they were like kissing in different castles, and the sun was setting. It was just so weird and so uncomfortable, and I rebuke it. And when I watch Arie kiss, the one thing that always comes to mind, especially when he kisses on white girls, because I told you, he kissed sisters differently. But every time he goes in for the kiss, he does this thing with his hands, and he goes right for the neck. And I was just like, you know what? Arie is a choker, okay? He seemed like he gonna choke the hell out of you when you have sex with him. I'm telling you. I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, Arie has choked somebody out. So, like, you know what? Let me stop. But Arie seemed like a choker. He give me a freak. He give me a freak. So then while Peter, Freudian slip. Anyway, while Arie and Becca, Andre the Giant, in her headshot on that website, they had her looking a mess. Beautiful girl in person, not on that website. What is going on with me? Anyway, while they were on their date, Jacqueline is now having like a full-on meltdown, like crying. She's pacing wherever they're staying. She's going back and forth. And I think what's starting to happen to her is she's realizing that I think that she feels like Arie is catching feelings for her, although, girl, I don't think so. So she doesn't want to play with nobody's heart. And I like that about her. I like the fact that she was just like, this is getting too real. And I think she just was having a really good time, you know? This whole show was fun for her. And now she's thinking about her future. And she's just like, I'm getting a PhD. I'm going to have like a real life outside of this. And I don't want to have like this bachelorette kind of life. So let me get out of this now. And she's like talking herself out. She's talking to other girls about it. And I just feel like that's honestly what's happening with Jacqueline. But she's like crying and saying she doesn't know if she's there yet with Arie. But I think the real deal is she has something that she wants to pursue and that she is pursuing. And she just feels like this is going to get in the way. And I think she's realizing that it's gone too far. She's had her fun. Now it's just time for her to get out of it. She's having doubts and she wants to take it a bit slow. Just like he who shall not be named. Did he get sympathy? I don't think so. I forgot to mention this, but on her one-on-one date with Arie, Becca K kept on talking about her ex. And before, I thought that Lauren was the one that had the boyfriend that's going to come back and try to get her. But now I think it's Becca K that's going to have that like crazy ex-boyfriend, because she kept on talking about her ex and how it just wasn't a good relationship and how her family never really met him. So the way she was talking about it, I was like, I feel like we're being set up for her to be the one to actually have the crazy ex. Arie gives her the rose. I mean, I knew he was going to, but it was just like, there's no spark. I like them together as a couple. I just don't see a spark. Arie gets back now, and Jacqueline, who has had several meltdowns at this point, mind you, she's crying, snotting, and wiping it. And did y'all notice that? She kept on like wiping her nose and then just moisturizing her hands with her own snot. Go ahead, PhD. They be the nastiest too. Them smart ones, whoo, they be the nastiest. Oh, did I just call myself dumb? Because I'm very sanitary. So Jacqueline finally just tells Arie that this isn't for her and that, you know, she's going to have to leave. But what I wanted to talk about is Jacqueline says this to Arie. I just imagine myself with you in Arizona. And the way she said it, and the look of horror that was on her face when she was imagining her life with Arie in Arizona, I was like, oh, girl. Jacqueline was like, I'm going to New York City. I'm about to be sex in the city. I'm going to be hot, spicy, and fly. I'm getting a PhD. I'm going to get me a man that is smart, a man that is wealthy, a man that can dress, okay? And probably a man that's around my age. I'm doing big things. I can't see myself dying in Arizona. She was so horrified by living in Arizona with Arie. This is the first time I have ever, and maybe you guys who have watched this longer may know another time this has happened, but this is the first time I have actually seen a bachelor get dumped on their own damn show, and this was juicy. And then she tells the girls that she's leaving, and Kendall breaks down like she's at a Black Baptist funeral. I mean, that girl cried. That girl travailed. Crocodile tears fell from her eyes. And I don't ever remember seeing them getting this close. You know what I mean? It got me to wondering. Because I was like, Kendall, you are falling apart that Jacqueline is leaving. Y'all real close. I'm just saying, it's happened before. Google it. Jacqueline leaves. I start to realize something in her exit interview with the show. The jig is up, Jacqueline. I see exactly what you are doing, girl, and I am living for it. Bravo, sis. I'll see you as a bachelorette in 2024. Work! Work! Now let's talk about Lauren and Arie's date. We get another day from Lauren and Arie, and I'm just like, oh, why? I don't want to have to suffer through that boring date. It was just as boring. You know what I mean? Like, Lauren is not saying anything. She does this thing, and I'm just like, girl, get sunglasses. Lauren's always like squinting, and I just, she got on my nerves again, because I'm like, do you want him or not? However, I will give her this. She was able to get Arie to do something that we have never seen him do before. She was able to force this man into showing some kind of pulse, some kind of life, some kind of personality, because she is so muted, she is so dry, and he is really into her. And I'm afraid for Becca K, because she's my front runner, but I've never seen Arie act like this with another girl. Now, there have been some girls that he just like, you know, sparks up with or whatever. Sparks up, okay, pun intended. But I've just never seen him go out of his way, because there's so many girls chasing him. And Lauren is just sitting back in the cut like, I know you want me, dude. It is what it is. I'm going to do the absolute least, and I'm still probably going to win this thing, because he was doing so much. He was like doing bicycle tricks, okay? 36-year-old Arie was doing bicycle tricks. He was playing soccer with the kids. He was like speaking a language with the people. Like, this is the Bachelor I wish we would have gotten in the beginning. Because I would have been interested in seeing this guy, really seeing this guy trying to woo this girl that he's interested in. And he was talking about it. He was just like, I really, really like her, and I want her to like me. And I was like, oh my gosh, Arie, this is so sweet. But when he was saying it, I was just like, how? Like, what do you see in her? And I feel like maybe he's leading with little Arie and not, you know, his heart or his mind, because I just don't see what he sees in her. They don't have a conversation. Lauren doesn't speak. Lauren is a mute. She don't say anything. Wow. Wow. Like, that's all she does. Wow. And squints. She don't do anything else. So I'm like, where's the attraction? What is going on there? You're thinking about a wife. Now, I get that you're attracted to her, right? But you want her to be your wife. There has to be something else that you see in her. They don't have conversations. I'm telling y'all, they have to film these dates for an entire day. Sometimes their dates go until like 2 or 3 a.m. Watch the interviews with the girls that get cut. They tell all the tea. So for the producers to try to put something together for somebody who is probably going to be a front runner, they were really struggling if this was all that they could get from Lauren. So I don't know what Arie sees, but he is crazy about her, and it confuses the hell out of me. Then we get to their sit down dinner, and Lauren, let me tell you something, honey, you need to go to some acting classes, because I did not believe you at all. She sits down with Arie, and she's just like, I think I'm falling in love with you. No, you're not. How? You can't even fake it. Like, I didn't believe it. Jesus ain't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, nobody believed that she was falling in love with it. And at that moment, I thought that Arie didn't believe it, because he got up and he walked away and like stood in the bushes. What the hell is going on with this show? He like walked away and was just staring at the bushes, and the camera crew was like, had some drone above him just watching his head as he literally stared in the bushes. And then he came back. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm telling y'all, something happened behind the scenes. If y'all know the tea, wait, don't let me know till the show is over, because I don't want any spoilers. But something going on. Something is good, because this was just really awkward. I felt like she was forcing this out. I felt like her response to him, to her telling him that she was in love with him, was like very forced and scripted. It did not seem genuine. It did not seem real. And I felt like she was struggling to say it because not only did she not believe it, she didn't want to say it. And I felt like Arie knew that. So he took off, but he came back because they got to finish the scene. Something is going on with the two of them. It is weird. Something is going on behind the scenes, and I cannot wait to get the full tea. Going to get the full tea because I know someone who was looking for people to actually be in the audience for the Women Tell All, and I was going to do that for you guys, but then I was just like, I'm still a viewer of this show as well, and I want to give you guys my honest reaction after I watch it, and I did not want to have any pre-information before I watched the finale. So I just didn't, I declined to go because I want this experience to remain as pure as it possibly can because we're going on this journey together. So you're welcome. I turned down some really good food too because I'm telling you, they probably gonna feed the hell out of them guests. You're welcome. Like, how did that heifer get the second hometown role? He's going to her hometown. Lauren, who he started dating 2 episodes ago. Like... I just don't understand. She has him by the balls, literally, and I don't know how. So then it's our girl Seinne's date with Arie, and at first I was going to drag the date, because I was just like, well, you're not going to get me all dressed up to go truffle hunting, okay? But when those 2 little beautiful dogs started like burrowing for truffles, I was like, oh my goodness, this is so cute. They were so adorable. And that man was like encouraging them and they were just going for it. It was so cute. Then they got the truffles and they went back and they made like a homemade pasta and heart pizzas, and the people who hosted the dinner were like asking them questions about each other and if they were really in love. It seemed like a hometown date. And it was such a beautiful date. Like lately they have been going on dates where I'm just like, I would love for my king to to do something like that for me. You know what I mean? So hey, since Idris Elba is now taking Chadwick Boseman, you can take me on a date like that. I'm available. And that truffle pasta looked delicious. The way that dude was eating that pasta, I was like, I know it's delicious. That fresh I've had fresh pasta once in my life. It was the best thing ever. I cannot wait to go to Italy and just eat. Because what I'm doing right now is because I told you I'm going to the royal wedding. I didn't get an invite, but I'm going to try to get in there. I'm going to be like, listen, I could fake it and say that I'm Princess Meghan's cousin. They not really gonna check. They're gonna be like, oh, she's black. Let's not cause a scene. Let her in. You know what I mean? So anyway, I plan on going there just to, try to get in. But I do plan on going there, and I want to hit up Italy. I want to hit up Paris. I want to have a real nice trip. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to, get snatched, not for pictures, because I'm going to eat my face off in Italy and Paris, and I need to make sure I don't get bigger. So I want to lose some weight, so if I gain weight, at least I'm back where I used to be, then bringing anything new back. So that's all. We get to their final date, the later date, just a 2-on-2. And Seinne, she looked great. She must have listened to me, because I was screaming through at the TV screen like, girl, you can't come on TV like this. You representing for all of us. Anyway, I am on one today. I don't know what happened. You know what it is? I'm starting this, like I told you, I'm dead serious about losing weight. And so I've been eating like a lot of fruits and vegetables, and I went through this season where I didn't have energy. Now I have so much energy. It's crazy. Anyway, I've said that a billion times this video. Here's another. Anyway, Seinne looks gorgeous on this date, and it immediately becomes awkward because they don't have chemistry. It is what it is. I tried to make this thing work because I wanted to see a sister go far, and I wanted her to at least get enough camera time so she could be considered for the next Bachelorette, but they just don't have any chemistry. They really, really don't. Seinne is not saying anything. She's not really talking to Arie. Then she's like trying to tell him. Like, I felt like she was doing the same thing that Lauren was doing. But the problem is Arie is attracted to Lauren no matter what she do. Lauren could shoot Arie in both of his kneecaps. He'll still propose to her. He just really wants her. He doesn't want Seinne, unfortunately, and he does not give her the rose because they just don't have a connection. He don't have a connection with none of these girls, but he ready to send Seinne home. But then I noticed something in Seinne that I didn't like. I felt like she knew that the ship was going down. So she's like kind of like begging and pleading with him to like keep her here on the show. And it just was really uncomfortable because as he's like walking her out to the cab or the Uber, whatever it is, instead of just, you know, walking there silently and just giving him a hug and getting in the car, she's just like, I wish I would have known that where we were so I could work on it. And I just want, it was so uncomfortable to watch. I was like, girl, shut up and get in the car and leave with your dignity. You know what I mean? Because then she starts saying all this stuff about, you know, tearing up about Arie. And I'm like, Seinne, let me tell you something. Sister to sister, woman to woman, let's be real. You signed up for Peter. All them broads signed up for Peter, or at least one of them dudes from Rachel's season. None of them were signed up for no Arie. Ain't nobody know who Arie was. The damn Bachelor production team didn't know who Arie was. They had to dig so far back because Peter blew his chances and Rachel killed any other chances that he had on the damn show. So let's be real, girl. You are crying because you don't want to go home. Like Jacqueline was falling apart because she don't want to leave because this production treats you girls like royalty. That's what the real tears were about. But girl, don't worry. You're in the running for the next Bachelorette. And if they don't give you the Bachelorette, because I think they're going to give it to TT, then I need you to come back for Peter's season. I think y'all going to work. Now, that is a couple I want to see, but you got to get in some improv and acting classes, and you have to work on being comfortable in front of the camera because I felt like you were really, really nervous and you didn't open up enough. And also, get some therapy. I don't want to hear about your home situation no more. Your parents are probably sitting at home watching this show, embarrassed as hell that you were on national TV talking about how they raised you in some freaking prison. I don't know how bad her situation was, but I'm just like, damn, they did a good job because you turned out okay. So give them some kind of credit. Every time she got a moment with Arie, I don't see myself as a princess. I don't think I could have a happy ending. My parents raised me in pure hell. Like, I was just like, geez, give your parents a break. They did the best they could do. So then we get our 3-date. Our 3-on-3. No, our 3-on-1. Yeah. This damn vegetable diet, guys. Anyway, we get a 3-on-1 date with Arie, Kendall, baby Becca, and TT, who got on my nerves this episode. We'll talk about that a bit later. Anyway, baby Becca is hella hyped about just getting a rose for hometown, which lets me know that just like a lot of the other girls, she is in it for the show and the fun of it all. She hasn't mentioned Arie once. She just keeps on mentioning about she wants a hometown. Like, she's more infatuated with the rose than she is with Arie. But then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, girl, why the hell would you want Arie to give you the rose for a hometown date? Could you imagine Arie bringing her home for a hometown date with a freaking camera crew? Him getting arrested for child endangerment and kidnapping because she has been going missing for the whole duration of this show. Like, that would be some good TV though. I would tune in for that, but the Bachelor brand don't need a felon bachelor. So now let's talk about TT, who is still my girl, but I didn't like what she did. I get that you came to play the game. You know what I mean? When she had her time with Arie, she was talking about, listen, she too young for you. I'm the right age. I'm ready to birth you some babies. That young thing ain't. I'm fine with that. Tell your man what you need him to hear so you can win this whole damn thing. I applaud it, right? Then she goes back and tells baby Becca everything she said. By the way, everything she said didn't even hold any weight because Arie the whole time was just like, let's just talk about us. So he shut her little gossiping behind down. So then she goes back. She tells baby Becca everything she said. Of course, baby Becca is going to break down. And then TT going to start rubbing her shoulder. Well, I just think of myself as your big sister. I didn't like that because you don't think of yourself as her big sister. You are playing the game. And to come back with that kind of connive, I don't know. I don't know her. It just did not seem like the TT that I know on this show. It gave me Crystal. It was so just like shady, you know, to like tell her and then say, well, I'm doing this for your good. Like to try to say that she's trying to help her when really you're not. You want to help her get out of the competition, but you don't want to help her, or you're not helping her make the best decision for herself. That's the only thing I didn't like. I didn't like that once she told her, like, why, girl, play the game. But two, I didn't like the fact that she was just trying to make it seem like she was actually helping when she wasn't. Like, you were going and being conniving and messy, and to try to cover it up because you know the cameras are watching. I didn't like it, girl. Play the game and play it all the way. Don't try to cover your tracks. What you were doing was shady. You were being shady. You were being messy. And that's it. You don't got to cover it up with nothing we already saw. You're not her sister. You're her competitor, and you did what you had to do. Own it. So then baby Becca goes to Arie crying. And I'm just like, this is so awkward because she just looks so young next to this man. And I think it's because Arie is graying, you know what I mean? So he just looks so much older than what he really is. But she starts breaking down, and the only thing I can notice this whole time is her outfit. Guys, she gave me Snow White. And not like not like Queen or Princess Snow White. Snow White, when she was in the forest, you know, being a kept woman of them 7 dwarfs. Like that scene where she was like making them all porridge or whatever and cleaning up the house. Can we talk about how fairy tales were so sexist? Like, really? That's what the princess of the forest is going to do for these dwarves? Anyway, she had that whole outfit on, and I was like, look at little Snow White over here hugging up to Cruella de Vil. Arie looks like Cruella de Vil. The vegetable diet. Well, you know what? I'm gonna do a review. Not a review, but I'm gonna do a video about this diet and how it just plays with your mind. I am on cloud 9. You would think that I got Patron in me, okay? And all I got is sweet potatoes. After Arie comforts his Lolita, they go back and the ladies sit down and wait for him to do the whole rose thing. Once again, baby Becca is so excited about this rose. And I feel like if she was into Arie as much as she was the show and the rose, she would probably still be here, because at the end of it all, Arie gave a rose to Kendall. Kendall got it first over TT, which bothered me because that's one of my top girls. And then he gave it to TT and he sent home baby Becca, who was mortified. Like, she was breaking down in that car when he sent her home. Like, she couldn't get it together. She was just all over the place, and I felt bad for her. I really, really did, because I just felt like she was having a really good time. And, you know, her spring break got cut short. But, girl, you'll live again on Bachelor in Paradise, so you will be fine. I will say this about Arie, and I didn't like it. After he had his way with Skipper, he gonna put her in a car and send her packing. You knew, bro. You knew that you were not picking this girl. Yet you had her straddling you, making out, feeling all up and down that good Dr. Body, knowing good and well you were not doing a hometown, because you would have felt awkward going home to meet the parents of a girl that you're trying to date when you're the same damn age as the parents. That's what it is. He didn't want to be put in that situation. He also did not want to have to deal with the fans who are just like, oh, you're dating somebody who's 22. You're trying to marry somebody who's 22. He didn't want that. He didn't want that kind of work. So he just let her go. But I'm telling you, he knew. I believe from day one, Arie knew. Little Arie loved baby Becca. I was going to say big Arie. Listen, I heard some rumors. But Arie, the mental Arie, production, all of them was just like, you can't pick her. Like, it can't happen. And I don't think anybody believed that she was going to get a hometown. None of us thought that, especially not in this day and age with the whole Weinstein thing happening. Nobody wants to be treading those murky waters. Although there are girls who are like a few years older than her, they're just they give off more of a maturity, and the producers and this show just really played up her youthfulness. What happens, they get all this footage and then they start creating storylines. I think because so many women talked about her being so young on this show that they had to craft this like young Lolita Skipper kind of storyline with Arie and baby Becca. But I feel like if that wasn't the case, if that wasn't a storyline that was crafted for her, if it wasn't whispers about her being so young, Arie would be taking her to a hometown. But he just didn't want to deal with the backlash that will come from that. The backlash from the women. The backlash from some of the viewers. The backlash from the parents who was just like, what the hell are you doing trying to climb up on my child? I get it. I get it, and I totally understand. My problem is that he knew what he was doing when he was, rubbing all up and down her body and having his way. You know what I mean? When you had that child straddling your little pee-pee, you knew you were sending her home. And you should not have made all those strides with her if you were getting rid of her. You know what? Hold up. Let's talk about it. Arie does this with all the girls. Even the girls that he knows he's sending home, like right before the ceremony, he making out with them. Oh, Arie, you skeezy. You skeezy. You know what? If you attention and start putting little pieces together, you can find a real Arie. Oh, you a little skis hoe, Arie. I see you. I see That's where it ends. I had a good time watching this episode, and I also had a good time reviewing it. I hope you did too. But before we go, let's talk about this trailer for next week. First of all, who knew that Kendall had a twin? And not only does she have a twin, she has a twin that's like glam Kendall. I was just like, wait, is this Kendall if she was a glam goddess like myself? I can't wait for that. And also, I am reviewing Bachelor Winter Games. I have a show tonight, so I won't be able to watch it right away. But the following day, I will watch it and review it. So look out for that. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you for the following episode of The Bachelor and Bachelor Winter Games. See you then, guys. Bye.